I'm Matthew Mungle, makeup effects artist, and today I'm going to introduce you to the StaColor palette. This is StaColor palette. This is full color and this is character, and it's my version of the alcohol activated pigment. It's basically plastic, pigment, and a plasticizer that are mixed together. They dried out, they've been dried out, the wells, as you can see, and they're reactivated by 99% alcohol. So I came up with this in about 1995. There was another company, there were a couple of other companies that were making them, but I wanted to make my own colors for myself, and then I decided, well, why don't I sell them to other makeup artists? Well, here we are today. So this is available through Biddy and also Friends Beauty Supply. And these are all the colors on the back right here. And we've got purple bruise right in here that we're going to use today, and then this red, which is an old red right here. And then there's a capillary color right in there. I'll be using this to make a bruise on the eye area. The reason we're doing it with this instead of just regular oil-based makeup is because this will last all day and you won't have to touch it up. Oil-based makeup, if you touch it, it'll smear on the skin. This won't. Once it's on the skin, because it's alcohol activated, it will stay all day for you. So what we're going to do, I'm taking a little stipple brush, which is got, you can see that you can put little capillaries onto the skin with this brush. Dip it in alcohol. Sometimes you can take a little 99% alcohol and just put it into one of the wells. Intentionally, there's an empty well here that we use for just alcohol. And then you can take your brush, activate the color with the alcohol. I'm going to ask my model Josh to close his eyes, and I'm going to take that and just start putting the bruise around the eye. Now, bruises aren't just a solid color. They're broken up capillaries under the skin. So it's a good idea to start out really small at the beginning, and you can build this up just like watercolors on the skin. Of course, your vehicle is 99% alcohol instead of water. So we'll take this, put a little bit more red here and there, a little bit more intense. I'm going to do just a light bruise, not too heavy. If you get too much color on the skin, you can just take your finger. It's a little bit too much color for me. I'm just going to take my finger and just dab it, just to put a little red there. I'm going to intensify the red right next to the eye a little bit. Intensify the red around the eyes. So I'm not just putting a solid color, I'm dabbing this color on. You can also do this with a pointed Q-tip. You can do this with a smaller brush you cut into, so it just leaves a few of the hairs there. This is going to make it look much more realistic than just putting a solid color on. And if you study bruises, there's all kinds of bruises, depending on how the bruise was made on the skin. I'm going to do a little bit of color out here on the skin, and I'm going to create a little cut which basically caused this bruise on the skin. So we're going to put a little red around there, a little flat brush with the color on it and just rub the color off so the alcohol dissipates on the brush. And I'm going to have Josh open his eyes. So I don't have very much alcohol in it, and I'm going to have him look up for me. And we're going to take a little bit of this red and just intensify under the eye. You can use oil-based makeup for that if you don't want to use alcohol around the eye. But of course it's going to dissipate and you won't be able to, you'll have to touch that up during the day. Okay, you can close your eyes. Good. Okay. Tearing up, that's great. Perfect. Gives you a nice. Okay, now I'm going to take a smaller brush, very small brush here. This is a very, very small brush. I think it's a 00 brush or 0. And dip it in alcohol. Take the red, activate the red with the brush. Kind of roll the brush a little bit to make a fine point, and then take that and make a cut on the skin with the brush. Let's curve it down a little bit here. We can intensify that. We can intensify that cut with a little bit of the purple bruise. Put that in the middle of the cut to make it a little deeper in the middle of the cut right here. Okay, you can close your eyes. I'm going to pick up my stipple brush again, put a little bit of purple on it this time. And I'm going to intensify the bruise a little bit more with a little purple. Of course, bruises go through different stages of healing. So this would be a fresh bruise. And if it was older, of course, it would have a little bit more green and yellow in it, even brown, as it's healing. And take a little bit more of this purple, put around the cut. We want to try to keep a highlight right next to the cut. That will show a little bit more depth that way around the bruise. Take a little bit more bruise right there. Okay, so that's the bruise. A very simple, small bruise around the eye. Then we'll take a little bit of this Fleet Street Bloodworks Drying Blood Fresh. Dip a small metal spatula into it. Not too much blood on it. Just enough to go in and put onto the cut like so. And we're going to let it drip right from the center and from the end of the cut, just like so. There we go. And that's a fast eye bruise with a small cut on it with StaColors, and that'll stay on all day.